Now at 10 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, attorneys caused another delay in a high-profile murder case. The courtroom issue that pushed back the pretrial.
Congressman Michael Cloud secures millions for a major Victoria project, the upgrade that's decades overdue.
Plus, waves trigger evacuations across states, how emergency officials are responding to earthquake aftermath.
We're tracking some tropical weather off of Louisiana. It's now crossing into East Texas. I think it's going to be here tomorrow, giving us a chance for some showers around here. We'll talk about that coming up.
And the Ganado Indians look to win back-to-back state titles here in 2025. Preview this year's team later on.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry.
And I'm Don Brubaker.
A high-profile murder case in Matagorda County is seeing yet another delay.
25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley has the latest on the case against Fernando Acosta Jr.
A pretrial hearing was set for Fernando Acosta Jr. today, but this case was delayed once again. Earlier this morning, there was a judge filling in for Judge Fortenberry. Fernando Acosta Jr.'s attorneys preferred to go before Judge Fortenberry and not to meet via Zoom call. Acosta was indicted on May 21st, 2021 for the murder of Amanda Johnson. Her remains were found in a burned SUV in Matagorda County. This murder trial has been reset several times now. Acosta is expected in court for that pretrial hearing on Wednesday, August 13th. Amanda Johnson is a single mother of two. She previously worked at a health club and was an elementary school teacher at Victoria ISD. She was just 38 years old. Reported in Matagorda County, Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
As for today's hearing not happening, the district attorney provided an explanation saying that according to a letter from the defense team, there was a mix-up over which days a visiting judge would be presiding in the 130th District Court, and ultimately pushing back the hearing now to August 13th rather. And here's our viewer poll tonight. How do you feel about the repeated delays in the Fernando Acosta Jr. case? Very concerned, somewhat concerned, not concerned, or undecided, or have no opinion. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And still overwhelmingly in the lead, I guess you could say, is very concerned at 62%, but interesting that it dropped quite a bit from our earlier newscasts, about 30% down. So, but thank you to everyone who has voted.
Vehicle thefts are on the rise in Victoria. Police are keeping a close eye on the trend. The city had 86 thefts in 2023. That number jumped to 92 last year, and so far this year there have already been 32 reported cases. Drivers are encouraged to stay aware and take simple steps to deter thieves, like locking doors and securing valuables.
Congressman Michael Cloud has secured $5.5 million of federal funding to help build a new terminal at the Victoria Regional Airport. The funds are part of the Transportation, Housing and Urban Development and Related Agencies Appropriations Act 2026. The current airport terminal is over 30 years old and not designed to accommodate larger aircraft, stricter security standards, and increased passenger volume. This funding would build a modern 30,000 square foot terminal that can handle today's passenger and TSA needs. The bill does still need full House and Senate approval. Well, as we've been following Citizens Medical Center's request for the county to issue debt to fund its ICU expansion, we asked the hospital for its financial records for the past 5 years. Those numbers show Citizens has operated at a loss for the past 3 years. In 2022, the hospital reported a $4.7 million loss. That grew to $8.1 million in 2023. And in 2024, they reported a $3.5 million loss in operating income. Well, switching over to weather now, we were just teetering on that triple-digit mark today.
Mac Pettis is here with the latest. Did we hit the triples like a really good baseball hitter?
We were that close. No, unfortunately, we topped out at 99 today, but I'm sure someone was at 100 degrees. What we're looking at, I'm excited. Look at this. We're looking at I-10. There's Houston. Big blob of tropical moisture. It's moving east, or rather to the west, and I believe that it'll be in our area tomorrow. I'm not saying it's going to be a big washout, but I'm looking for increasing clouds and some showers for at least Thursday and Friday. We'll talk more about it and take a look at your 7-day coming up in just a moment.
Mac, thank you. Tsunami waves hit the United States after an 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck off Russia's eastern coast.
The quake, tied for the 6th strongest ever recorded, triggered tsunami warnings from Russia to Japan to Hawaii and the U.S. West Coast. Michael Yoshida has more.
Tsunami alerts across Hawaii sending residents and tourists racing to evacuate coastal areas.
Our number one priority is life safety, and so right now it's an easy thing. Get away from the beaches, get inland, and get upward.
Roads and highways packed as people scrambled for higher ground.
You can expect a tsunami wave to hit the state, and it will not just hit one beach. It will wrap around the islands very likely.
Well, we were up visiting Volcano National Park and saw the tsunami warning go off on our phones.
The warnings triggered after an 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck near Russia's east coast. Waves from the quake tied for the 6th strongest ever recorded, lashing Russia's coast. As tsunami warnings were issued from Japan to Chile, with huge waves predicted for parts of French Polynesia.
This earthquake basically moves the seafloor upward by roughly a meter, a few feet, something like that. And that leads to a bulge of water that starts traveling across the ocean.
In the U.S., the tsunami waves hit shores in Hawaii, California, Oregon, Washington, and Alaska overnight. Waves, some as high as 5 feet, were recorded on Maui's North Shore. As warnings were downgraded across the U.S., officials from Hawaii to California saying the worst was over, but urging everyone to remain vigilant.
We were fortunate this time. There was significant tsunami surges. We're still dealing with those now, but it did stay within the banks.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
We are learning more details about the violation in Victoria ISD's cosmetology program. According to information shared by the district today, the violation was found during an inspection in November 2023, with corrections made immediately. The district says it was notified of the monetary penalty in May of this year, and the $3,000 penalty was paid in June. The Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation reported the violation on July 2nd of this year. In an interview with the Tribune, Texas A&M University System Chancellor Glenn Hagar said he wants to help students complete college and expressed skepticism about the effectiveness of now defunct DEI programs. To read this full Texas Tribune article, visit crossroadstoday.com.
A big community celebration in Beeville is helping students get ready to head back to school. The Back to School Bash is happening this Saturday, August 2nd from 11 to 3 at Coastal Bend College. Students can grab free backpacks and school supplies, plus enjoy food trucks, vendors, and special guests. It's all happening at the James R. Doherty Student Union Building, thanks to Telemundo Victoria, Coastal Bend College, and the city of Beeville. Here's some of the top headlines in the Port Lavaca Wave. Due to ongoing construction and repairs to Memorial Medical Center's roof, the Calhoun County Commissioner's Court waived ambulance transfer fees to Calhoun County Airport. And the Calhoun County Library Summer Reading Program reaches new records. To read these stories and more, go to portlavacawave.com.
And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, a deadly D.C. crash is back in the spotlight, where the focus turns next.
Also ahead, a Virginia city councilman is fighting for his life after a brutal attack, the shocking assault at his workplace.
Day one of investigative hearings on the mid-air crash between a passenger plane and a military helicopter in Washington, D.C. earlier this year. The NTSB questioning the Army over the safety of their helicopters.
67 people died in January when an Army Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines plane. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington.
Newly released video shows the moments before the deadly mid-air crash in Washington, D.C. in January. On the left, you see the lights from the American Airlines plane shining as it heads toward the runway at Reagan National Airport. An Army Black Hawk helicopter flying right toward it before colliding over the Potomac River, killing all 67 people on board both aircrafts.
How much tolerance for safety should there be when civilian lives are at risk?
The NTSB today starting 3 days of investigative hearings. The families of those killed sitting in the audience, some wearing pictures of their loved ones around their necks. This morning, the agency releasing thousands of pages of evidence, including new data from the plane's cockpit voice recorder, showing the pilots of the plane verbally reacted to the helicopter less than a second before impact. One pilot saying, "Oh, expletive." The black box transcript shows the helicopter's pilots had trouble hearing air traffic control. The chopper's crew engaged its microphone at the same time air traffic control said to pass behind the plane. The NTSB says that instruction was stepped on and the pilots never heard the command. The agency also says the helicopter was flying higher than it should have, and there are questions about whether the pilots knew. Major concerns about the reliability of the instruments on board.
There is a possibility that what the crew saw was very different than what the true altitude was. We did testing in May that shows concerns with the altimeters.
The chairwoman of the NTSB with clear frustration toward the Army, asking why they are not testing the instruments on the rest of their fleet. She says she is not happy with what she heard from the Army today. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
A shocking attack on a city councilman in Virginia. Police say Danville City Councilman Lee Vogler was set on fire after a man stormed into his place of employment today. Witnesses say the man forced his way inside, poured gas on Vogler, then lit him on fire. Vogler was airlifted to a burn unit. His condition has not been released. The suspect was arrested shortly after the attack. Police say the men knew each other and the attack appears to be personal, not politically motivated. The suspect now faces multiple charges, including attempted murder. The Trump administration is sounding the alarm on addicted substances used by millions of Americans. The potent products, including what's called gas station heroin, are readily available across the country.
Now RFK Jr. is moving to limit access. Here's more from ABC News.
In an effort to prevent the next opioid crisis, the FDA has announced a plan to restrict a substance that experts say is 13 times more potent than morphine. The compound, commonly referred to as 7-OH, is a synthetic concentrated byproduct of the kratom plant and can be found in tablets, gummies, drink mixes, and shots sold at gas stations and convenience stores.
Scientifically, by definition, it is an opioid, and yet it is sold in vape stores, in smoke shops, in convenience stores, and gas stations.
7-OH has been commonly used for pain relief and anxiety or as a stimulant. The administration is recommending classifying it as a controlled substance, saying you can become addicted to it in just days. In making the announcement, Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. spoke about his own 14-year addiction to heroin.
This compulsion was absolutely impervious to my will. And part of the problem was just the availability.
The FDA has been confronting a growing number of dangerous products lining store shelves, including other unregulated supplements that have opioid-like effects, sometimes called gas station heroin. Kennedy saying the wide availability of these drugs could lead to a national crisis.
And they're marketed for children. They're gummy bears. They're bright colors. They're candy flavored. This is really a sinister industry.
The FDA has notified healthcare professionals, warning them about the danger of 7-OH. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
President Trump is starting a new push to make it easier for Americans to reach and then read their own medical records. More than 60 companies, including Amazon, Apple, and Google, signed on to help improve how patient data moves through the healthcare system. The goal is to deliver results by early next year, but some privacy advocates are raising concerns about how secure that data will be.
President Trump says the U.S. has made a trade agreement with South Korea. According to Trump, there will be a 15% tariff on all imports from South Korea. He also said South Korea will purchase $100 billion in energy products from the U.S. and invest $350 billion in assets owned and controlled by the U.S. The deal comes days before Trump's pause on reciprocal tariffs is set to expire on Friday. According to data from the Commerce Department, South Korea is the United States' 7th greatest source of imports.
Here's some of the top headlines in the Cuero Record. Longtime DeWitt County Judge Daryl Fowler officially announced his decision not to seek a 6th term of office. And the Yorktown varsity and junior high cheerleading squad shined at a UCA cheer camp. To read these stories and more, visit DeWittCountyToday.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. We're at 80 degrees right about now. At this hour, at 10 o'clock, we're at 80 degrees. Can you believe it? Managed to get up to 99 this afternoon. Almost made it 100, but I'm sure somebody was at 100 degrees today. And we're looking for some moisture coming in that may actually give us a few showers by tomorrow afternoon. We'll be looking at that coming up after this. Well, good evening, everybody. Tonight we're looking up the coast right about here in Louisiana. You see this tropical moisture? It looks good. And what's happened that's really changed, the high pressure dome was on top of us yesterday. The center of it has now moved over to Georgia. So this stuff is beginning to sneak into Texas. Yes, we already have some shower activity in East Texas, and we're pretty excited that some of that moisture will be around here, giving us a cloud or two and maybe a shower. Oh, let me back up a little bit. I want to show you, yeah, right here. There you see the thunder showers right about there on I-10. Moving through Beaumont. Of course, a lot of heavier activity out here, but you can see the rotation. And this is exactly what happened last weekend, where we had this tropical moisture sort of slip under the ridge of high pressure. So maybe not so much in the morning, but by afternoon, I expect clouds to roll in and maybe give us a couple of showers around here. Obviously, it'll be heavier up toward Houston tomorrow being Thursday, but on Saturday, a lot of that stuff will be around, and hopefully we'll get a little break in the heat, although there's really not a lot of change expected. We'll still be on the warm side of things. Other people that are having fun are up in Amarillo, where they're getting stormy weather tonight. In fact, they've got flood watches up there. The East Coast has gotten a little bit of a break from the heat. The Midwest was under the heat wave, but it is now moved south. There's a frontal system coming in, and that has brought the heat wave way to the southeast and giving them a little bit of a break throughout the Midwest. For us, well, it still stays on the warm side, looking for 105 tomorrow. And you know the drill. At 105, we tell everybody to take extra care and precautions and fluids and breaks and wear the appropriate clothing, because you're going to be outdoors. You're really going to be perspiring. Middle part of the day, just don't overdo it, and take care of folks that possibly don't have air conditioning. That's still a thing around here. We're looking for some fog again to develop early in the morning. If you're an early morning driver, you're going to deal with that again, so just take it easy, or wait till about 8 o'clock and it'll all burn off very rapidly once the temperature starts warming up the land. Let's take a look across the Atlantic. Do you see anything happening? No, it is absolutely quiet. Not even any waves around here. So of course this is very interesting, because we're ramping up to the peak of September the 10th is actually the peak of the season, the average. And at this point in time, it looks like we're not going to have a very active season, which is okay, but I'm just saying it's odd and unusual. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, very active. One here, there's Honolulu right about there, another one here, and two potentially developing up here. As long as they stay in that neck of the woods, then we're okay. So let's take a look at your forecast for tomorrow. Looking at Port Lavaca, looking at only 78 as a morning low, getting up to 96 as an afternoon high. Yes, it's still on the warm side tomorrow. I expect the cloud deck to roll in, or the humidity to roll in late in the day. And then it's Friday when we have a little bit better chance of getting something going around here, just a couple of little afternoon showers. So 20% for Thursday, Friday, then just wall-to-wall sunshine for the weekend, quite warm, and temperatures again hovering in the 98 to 100 degree level. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And now we're talking baseball with the Generals, right, Max?
That's right, Mac. And the Victoria Generals, they only needed one more win tonight to see if they can advance the TCL championship game. So will they get the job done? I'll give you the updated score coming up in sports. All right, Grossos. Last night we finished up our 2A Division II coverage with the Luis Hornets. Well, tonight we're starting our 2A Division I coverage with the state champions. They're from last season, the Ganado Indians. The Indians had that magical run, you remember, with all that senior leadership they had. Again, also with their star quarterback in Bryce Ullman, which they will not have this year as he graduated, but they will have their backup quarterback there, Landon Arriaga, who last year he actually started the first 3 games for the Indians. Again, he was 2-1 in those games. He did that. Only loss was the only loss that Ganado had there against East Bernard. That was 33-12. So he's looking to now kind of get, a full season under his belt. And also, he's actually been in the state 7-on-7 as well out there in College Station. He's got a lot of experience. He's got a lot of weapons as well. He's going to have star running back and Logan Burris back. He's named the early preseason defense MVP as well. So not just does it on offense, he does it on defense as well. So, again, that's going to be a huge spot, again, for Logan Burris running back, but also the wide receivers. You got 2 of them in Austin Pena, who was a threat there last season. Remember, he got that game-winning 2-point conversion to win there for Ganado. And also, I think a player that's going to step up for the Indians, too, is Cade Nixon. He's going to get a lot more production this season. And, again, the Indians are currently now projected to win the district there this season. Again, tomorrow, we're going to highlight there the Bloomington Bobcats, which currently right now, they're ranked there number 4 from Dave Campbell's, but I think they're going to be a little bit better going into it. So I'll mention how they kind of feel going into this season, therefore, tomorrow. Now, staying with the Generals, they have multiple players receiving all TCL team selections. We're going to start first there with Cole Tabor. He played second base, and he had a .926 batting average. He had 21 RBIs and a .481 on-base percentage during the regular season. Then, shortstop Diego Diaz, he's been the complete package for the Generals this entire season. They're on the field and batting average. He had a .322 batting average and then a .508 on-base percentage. And finally, the pitchers there, Brock Lambert and Merrick Sears, were also named, as Sears had a .98 ERA, which is outstanding just for a relief pitcher there, for again on the ERA. And then also Brock Lambert, 6-0 this year, 2.0 there in the regular season. Congrats to all these Generals. And will that come to fruition tonight, right? I mean, all these great stats, everything looked good. Is this going to do well for the Generals? Well, fortunately, it was not. They lost this game there 5-0 there in Bryan, Texas. And again, problem was they could not get the bats going in this game. Again, yesterday they had 8 hits in total. Today, only just 2 hits, and that's not going to get the job done. So they're looking kind of get that offense going because the pitching was well. You had the starting pitcher, Drew Wensky, kind of helped out the Generals to start off the game. But again, the Bombers got the bats going when they needed to. So with that in mind, there's going to be a winner-take-all Game 3 there tomorrow night at Riverside, with the winner going to the TCL championship game, which will be Saturday. And again, whoever wins that game will either face the Rougarou or the Acadian King Cutters. And finally, the Astros last night, they broke that 5-game losing streak there versus the Washington Nationals. Well, they're keeping their winning ways going earlier this afternoon, where they won 9-1. Stars Jose Altuve and Yainer Diaz had 6 of the 9 runs scored. And again, both of them had 3-run home runs just apiece for the both of them. So the Astros, they're looking to keep their winning ways going. They have a day off tomorrow to travel over to Boston, where they face the Boston Red Sox. That's going to start Friday at 6:10 p.m. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don and Shauna, back to you.
Max, I got to ask you, strange things happening in the Cowboys camp today. A lot of fights were there, and the new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer, made the players run sideline to sideline. He wasn't having any more of that.
I mean, I'll say this, Don. You got to find a way to get disciplined, right? If you got to get disciplined for your players and get with it, because right now I'm going to say this, and man, this could be a really hot take. I think Cowboys are going to be the 3rd team right now in that, again, division. So if they want to get going, they got to get it in training camp. So they got to do it, Don. So.
Down to discipline.
Down to discipline. And with a brand new head coach, got to get some discipline on this team. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Sean. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10. We'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, a wildlife preserve celebrates a new family member, the baby that's already stealing hearts in California.
A private wildlife preserve in Sonoma County, California has announced the birth of a new baby rhinoceros. Safari West has named its latest male rhino calf Ozzy, after you know who. The southern white rhinoceros was born on July 22nd, and the name choice is a respectful nod to the late music icon Ozzy Osbourne, who died on the same day of the calf's birth. Ozzy is the younger sibling of Otto, who was born at Safari West in 2023. The calf is expected to stay close to its mother for up to 2 years. Visitors may soon have the chance to see Ozzy in person once he is adjusted. Very cute.
Hope they keep that Ozzy off the crazy train. In small town Maine, a hometown hero is getting a big honor in a field of corn. A new maze at Thunder Road Farm celebrates Cooper Flagg, the Dallas Mavericks' latest draft pick. Designed with help from his family, the maze features his face, number, and nickname, the Maine event. Maine is M-A-I-N-E. Farm owners say it's their most meaningful tribute yet, just miles from where Flagg grew up. The maze opens to the public September 13th.
We'll be seeing a lot more of those corn mazes coming up here soon, too.
And maybe some around Big D if Flagg decides to wave the flag for the Mavericks very well this year.
Everyone's talking about him very highly, so you know, we'll see. Maybe he turns it around there.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and for the corn farmers out there in the crossroads.
Well, our corn farmers, I hope, are okay. You know, we had the good rain, and now we've had this heat wave, so the growth is out there. But you can't go like this for very long because everything will start to wilt, and you know, like the way we are wilting. So we're all going to be wilting as we get into the weekend. Looking at a 99 for tomorrow. And the heat index, of course, is going to be tough. So just try to stay cool the best you can. I look for a 20% chance of showers late on Thursday, and on Friday as well.
All right. Well, we know with this kind of heat, we definitely need a deodorant that works to stay smell-free. Well, there's a new sustainable option that's a collab from DuraDry and Coors Light. Yeah, the beer brand Coors Light.
Makes sense.
It's already sold out. The deodorant is called DuraChill. It's not made with beer, does not smell like beer. That would be pretty raunchy. The scent is described as Rocky Mountain Breeze. The deodorant stick is, however, cold activated to keep you chill. So you actually have to keep it refrigerated.
I just don't know. Yeah,
put your deodorant in there next to the eggs.
Yeah, next to the eggs and milk. I mean, it makes perfect sense, right?
If they make a deodorant for your abs, it could be a six-pack for your six-pack.
Very good.
You know, that would be true, yeah.
Who's got a six-pack?
All right, well, thanks for joining us tonight.
During 25 News Now Sunrise, Carolina, Parker Cox, 5 a.m. Jimmy Kimmel Live starts now.